How's it going, guys? It's Moobscast Part 2 for this week. This is the follow-up. We had the first one for Extreme Rules. This is now all about Raw. How the hell are you? I hope you're good. Thank you very much for watching. Always means a lot to me that you guys tune in and watch every single week. I just want to give a big shout out to my boy Big Beastie, who was on the last show. I had a really great time. It was fantastic. I had such a laugh with you. Thank you, buddy, for being you. Thank you for being supportive. Thank you for being on the show. Thank you for your opinions. Dude, love you as always. Anyway, Monday Night Raw. What did you think? Live from Baltimore. Now, let me first start off with, I thought the crowd was epic. If anybody in Baltimore or anybody who knows anybody in Baltimore who was at the show, big thumbs up. Give this to them. Big thumbs up. That was epic. The fans was amazing. For me, the fans made Monday Night Raw. Don't get me wrong. The stuff that happened was really, really good and everything like that. I'm not saying it was a bad show. But the fans really, really made it. I mean, we started off the show. Seth Rollins comes out. Absolute horrendous, massive, loud cheers. The crowd went wild for him. And to be fair, so they should. It was fantastic to see Seth. He came out with a big smile on his face. He couldn't talk at first. It was kind of like he was back as the face. So I'm sat here thinking, is he back as a face or a heel? He obviously, made a point of saying he's back and blah, 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 blah. And it was like you could see in his head, he's thinking, I'm supposed to be the bad guy and you're cheering me. What do I do? But then he obviously thought, right, quick thinking, Seth. He did a heel promo. He turned on the fans. He said that they sent him loads of fan mail. Everything went in the bin. He doesn't need the fans to cheer him. He didn't need the fans to get back to where he to basically get back to where he was before the injury. The fans suddenly started booing him. But obviously he still got the cheers because people was happy he's back, and the fact that he's happy as himself, which is what sold it the first time. It wasn't a great start off, but the idea was to get Seth over, to sort of put him to the fans and say, look, this is who he is again. He's going to be a heel again, and obviously get him over. He basically said he never lost a title. He's back to win it. Blah, blah, blah. All the things you would expect. So anyway, Reigns comes out. Fans completely boos. I think there might have been the odd cheer you could just about hear through it, but it was so deafening boos. They've made it clear then they're not going to like Seth Rollins. Roman Reigns. But he comes out anyway, jumps in the ring. Rollins gets out and says, you'll fight on my time, and go start walk up the ramp. Then our old boy, our favourite son of WWE, Shane O'Mac, comes down. He didn't really do a lot. He just kind of came down, stood in the ring, asked Rollins to come in the ring, got them both in the ring and said, you want the title you never lost. Roman, you can understand that. You're the champion. So you're going to fight at Money in the Bank, and it's going to be for the title. That was basically the whole promo. It was good. It wasn't, it was good because they obviously didn't want to put a massive promo in like they do when Reigns is doing the mic work or Cena's done the right work or whatever. It was just a case of, right, let's start off what we're going to do. Roman really didn't say anything, but it started the rivalry off now, so they can build on that. It was, like I say, the fans wanted to see that, and I think everybody's kind of hoping that Rollins is going to win the title. Whether they put the title straight back on him after an injury like that remains to be seen. I haven't decided what I think's going to happen yet. I have my ideas, but I'm not 100% sure. So I'm going to see how the storyline plays out. It makes sense with who's in the Money in the Bank match because I'm going to go into that. But I'll decide, I'll look in and, I'll watch the next few weeks and say, right, this is what I think is going to happen. Usually I'm wrong, but hey, it's my view. If that's what I think they're going to do or I think they should do, I will give that. It's the joy of it being my podcast. Right, they announced that it was going to be qualifying matches on Monday Night Raw. First off, they started off with Sheamus versus Sami Zayn. It was an okay match. Zayn looked his usual awesome self. I thought he looked really good. Sheamus did what Sheamus does, which is kind of not a lot and a bit boring. There wasn't much to talk about because Zayn did the usual moves he does, but obviously did them really, really good. Sheamus does everything he does. He didn't shine, and it wasn't a classic. It was just a decent match. Now, obviously, Zayn won, which puts him straight into the Money in the Bank match. Now, Sheamus after was kind of in the ring, head in hands, he was kicking the ropes, he wasn't happy. Michael Cole and JBL was saying he went from last year's winner to not even qualifying this year. Sheamus obviously really, really annoyed. And then the next thing, we've got Apollo Crews doing a promo talking, because he's fighting Y2J a bit later for qualifying for the Money in the Bank, and Sheamus comes out of nowhere and attacks him. So obviously that's where, if Crews doesn't go through, that's obviously where they're going. It's going to be Bournemouth versus Crews, which that's not really a seller. I can't say that has got me intrigued. Crews has not kind of stepped up. He's not got the sort of step up that Corbin and the Vaudevillains. I mean, the Vaudevillains ain't even great. But they've had a little bit. But Enzo and Cash, you've got all the boys who stepped up, and Crews for me has got probably the worst out of the lot. Maybe that's why they're doing it, to try and give Crews a chance. But it's not really a seller. We'll kind of have to see how it goes on that one. So yeah, and Sheamus was saying to Crews as he's beating him up, "You think you're part of the new era? I'm here to crush you," and all this other stuff and all that kind of thing. So yeah, obviously Sheamus is going to have a solo storyline. I personally think they're running out of ideas with Sheamus, and they're probably going to get him to get some of the young lads over, which is great. But I don't know, are they running out of ideas that they're giving him a chance before he ends up off TV because they can't do anything with him? Remains to be seen, I suppose. Moving on. So we had a birthday cake in the middle of the ring. No, we was all like, what? It's somebody's birthday. The New Day music kicks in. Like the good old Biggie, like, "Oh, Baltimore! Don't you dare be sour!" Anyway, I'm not going to do it. I'm not Biggie Langston. Or Biggie. So obviously the birthday cake's to do with the New Day. So they're like, "Oh, is it somebody's birthday in the New Day?" They come out, being their awesome self again. Did an amazing promo. They basically stood in the ring and said, the birthday cake is because Raw was 1,200 episodes old. Fantastic. I was there on the first one. I'm now beginning to feel really, really old. I've got to be honest with you. But they said, "Happy birthday, Raw." And then the funniest bit was Big E kind of says, "Well, I'm getting out of the ring with this birthday cake because birthday cakes in wrestling rings don't mix. I've seen what happens when you put birthday cakes in wrestling rings, so I'm getting out." So he gets out and takes the cake. And what he's doing is like, they're going, "Wouldn't it be a shame if it fell all over somebody?" And they go to the front row of the fans, and there's a little kid at the front with a big smile on his face, and Big E's like, teasing him with it like he's going to smash it in his face. Then they do it to JBL, and JBL's like, "No, don't do it to me." Then Byron Saxton. Then the next thing, we've got the Social Outcast jumping Woods and Kofi, and because they're having a match. So they're having the match. So we go straight into the match. Now, is that what they're doing with the New Day now? Are the Social Outcasts going to get a chance? Because I can't see any tag team anytime soon that's going to take the bells off of the New Day the way it stands. Maybe the Dudleys, to make them, 10-time champions? I don't know. I can't really see where they're going to... Enzo and Cash, but their faces, are they really going to do two of them? It'd be epic with regards to promos and everything, but I don't know. So maybe I can't imagine the Social Outcasts, even if they're feuding with them, they're not going to take the titles off them, surely, and give them to them. But we had the match anyway. It was a decent match. I don't think anybody really shined. I thought the New Day did what they usually do. The best part of the match for me is when they was really beat down in Slater. And it was really, really good. And Slater's like completely out of it, like, collapsed on the floor. And Axel and Dallas pull him out the ring, and they've got their arms around his shoulders. And Bo just looks up and goes, "Bo Train!" And they go to do the train, and literally Slater just stands up, eyes like this, and bangs face first on the floor. And it was like hilarious. Anyway, the New Day won. Like I say, it was a decent match. It wasn't great. It was a decent match. And then after they go, Big E goes to the cake and puts his hand in the middle of it and pulls out loads of cake. And the boys are shouting, "No, no, no, leave it, leave it, leave it." And they tend to pick the cake. They tend to go and get Heath. And they're stood next to the ring where the announcers are. And Kofi and Woods get the cake and kind of tip it sideways a little bit. And they Irish whip Heath Slater into it and just smash it in his face. And Big E kind of rubs it in his face, and that was really, really funny. Honestly, if you've not seen it, it was really good. Go and find the clip or watch Raw. It was really, really, really good. So I'm guessing that's because they've got the comedy element obviously to the Social Outcast. So these could be quite funny promos for the tag champions for the next few weeks. I'm quite looking forward to that, if I'm honest. I mean, I know they're like, mid-carders that's been just stuck together, but I think they've done quite well. Obviously, no Adam Rose, not going into the reason why, but I think it's safe to say he's done now, for whatever reason. So it's probably just going to be trio on trio, which is fine. Probably two of the funniest trios have got. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Then we had Cesaro versus Miz in another Money in the Bank qualifier. Miz comes out with his missus stating that, he was the underdog and he kept the IC title and this and that. Cesaro basically gets bored of it just as Miz is about to kiss his missus. He does the old James Bond thing coming out, rips the clothes off. And to be fair, it was an absolute epic match. Probably my favourite match of the night, just about barring the main event. The main event was epic, but just about Miz and Cesaro. Bearing in mind that's really hard because the main event, that's really hard for me because the main event involved Owens and AJ. So that's hard for me to say, but the Miz and Cesaro, or should I say the Cesaro match, because again, the Miz looked okay, but he's not doing really. He's not got a buzz in the ring like Cesaro, Zayn, Owens, and all that lot has. But it was a decent, he did all right. But I thought Cesaro, he started the match off by, the first move he did was the uppercut train round the corners with him. Oh, from from corner to corner. It was epic. It just built and built, and they started off on a high, and it just got higher and higher and higher. Absolutely top draw. Cesaro doing, even the stuff that Miz did on Cesaro, he did he did something to his bad elbow, which meant Cesaro couldn't do the swing, which obviously annoyed people because they love the swing. But it was a great match. And like I say, probably just about edged it for match of the night for me. But Cesaro wins. He goes straight into the Money in the Bank. So far, we've got Cesaro and Sami Zayn. And I don't think that's lining up too badly already. I thought that was pretty decent, if I'm totally honest, or looking pretty decent. Then we had Y2J versus Apollo Crews. Obviously, they sort of built up, what shape was Crews in after the Sheamus attack. I don't believe there was ever going to be any doubt that Crews was never going to go into it, into the Money in the Bank match. Sheamus, they kept showing him backstage. To be honest, I thought it was a pretty boring match. It didn't do anything that kind of got me off my seat. Again, Jericho's obviously being put into the Money in the Bank. He's probably on his last run. I thought Jericho would be done after Sunday night. I thought he'd probably be going on tour again. Maybe he's on his last stretch before he finishes. I don't know. I wouldn't not see a retirement match coming up soon for Jericho. Just because I think he's been in longer than he normally has. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But anyway, Jericho wins. He goes into the Money in the Bank. Again, it wasn't a great match. Not really a lot to talk about with it. And there really wasn't, because it was the usual moves. Crews did his stuff. Jericho did his stuff. And that was pretty much it. And I'm sorry if you wanted to hear more about it, but there was nothing. There's not really that. In my notes that I write down, there was really nothing about that match apart from it didn't do it for me. Who did we have next? Well, anyway, Big Cass. So the music hits, the fans go wild, and out comes Big Cass. But not on his own. He points to the back, and who do we see? Oh, Enzo Amore. The man is back. It was fantastic to see it. Honestly, it was absolutely amazing. The crowd popped. Enzo was hyped. Some of just the way the buzz about it was absolutely epic. And there was even bits where you could see Big Cass telling him to calm down a little bit because he was getting a little bit overhyped. The whole promo was hilarious. It was entertaining. And it was fascinating. I had a big smile on my face the whole through the promo. He came out and he was like, my name is Enzo Amore. I'm a bona fide, and all that stuff, and like we always do, you can't teach that. But the bit where he's talking about the lights went out, and I don't remember this and stuff. Honestly, YouTube it. I'm not going to tell you. I can't tell you all the words because at the end of the day, I could tell you what I think he said, but I'll miss bits out. I would not give that promo justice. You need to YouTube the Monday Night Raw of last week, well, of Monday night of last night, and look at that promo and watch it. What they did was great. The mix was back. The blend was back between Enzo and Cass. Honestly, it was fantastic, and I would recommend. I don't want to do it any misjustice, but I would definitely go and watch that promo because it was fantastic, and it really was. And it led to a match between Bubba and Cass, which Cass kind of dominated. Bubba did well. I thought it was an alright match. I thought they was quite good. It went back and forth. There was a bit where Enzo was stood at the side of him because obviously Enzo's not wrestling. I'm assuming he's allowed to come back, but he's not quite. They don't want to quite risk for the wrestling, so he may have another week or 2 weeks till he's back in the ring. But he called them Bub and Devon Dudley. But Enzo anyway was at the side of the ring watching the match, and Devon comes and like smacks him, and he smashes his head again. I think he kind of did that on purpose. There was no worry about anything. And then as the match is going on, Big Cass is outside the ring, and Devon's here. Let me put my hand so you can see it. Devon's like this side of him. And then the next thing you just see Enzo come running around. Big Cass grabs him and just throws him at Devon. And it just led up to Big Cass in the ring doing his finisher, which is a pretty decent finisher. Got to be honest, I like. There's a couple of finishers at the minute. I love Bray Wyatt's finisher. I like finishers that are very basic, but they have maximum effect. Like when you see Cena do the AA, doesn't do anything because he does it that many times now. It means nothing. The AA is an insignificant finisher now, in my opinion. But you've got like Bray Wyatt who does Sister Abigail, which I love. You've got Baron Corbin's finisher, which I love. And then you've got Big Cass's finisher. And they're three very basic finishers, but the impact and the effect they have on the crowd, top draw. And they really get the crowd excited. So this is obviously what they was planning on doing before Enzo's concussion. So now we're finally going to see Enzo and Cash versus the Dudleys, and I am excited. I really am. Big fan of the Dudleys. I was always more Hardys, don't get me wrong, back in the day, but I'm a big fan of the Dudleys, and I'm really getting to be a big fan of Enzo and Cash's. So not that people like Enzo and Cash may never see this video, but if anybody would like to share this video to anybody who can get it to them, love what you're doing, fantastic, keep it going, and Vince McMahon, don't you dare split them up anytime soon, because they are a fantastic tag team. Them, the New Day, and some of the new tag teams you've got and that's coming up could rebuild your tag division. So please keep doing what you're doing, boys. Loving it. Who did we have next? Well, we had Charlotte. Charlotte came out with Daddy and Dana. She basically thanked Dana for her help. Dana thanked Charlotte for letting her help. Flair said how proud he was of his daughter. He was saying what a fantastic person she was, this and that. And Charlotte gets the mic and completely rips into Rick. And I mean rips in. She basically said that she is now the dirtiest player in the game. She's the most important Flair. Her dad was never there. Her dad didn't care. She didn't want anything to do with her dad. She had finished with her dad, and she wanted him out. And she wanted him out of her ring, and she never wanted to see him again. Flair burst into tears, which is no shock horror, because Flair's always in tears whenever she's fighting and what have you now. But Flair didn't do anything. She just completely ripped into him. And if I'm totally honest, they said it was quite out of order and quite sad for him. I think it was. I don't want to be horrible. Ric Flair is a legend to this business. But it was like, it made him look really pathetic. And I'm sorry if that upsets people. Maybe that was the effect they were going for, to get Charlotte over as a heel even more. But it really made him look like a pathetic, bumbling, old fool. And I don't believe, all the stuff that Ric Flair's been doing. I said it a few shows ago. Ric Flair, when he's doing all this and everything, he looks like a fool. That to me made him even look like a bigger, more stupid, daft old fool. And even I think that was unfair on Ric Flair. The promo was fantastic from a heel point of view. It couldn't have got her over anymore. But from people who idolise Ric Flair, I think it will make a lot of people... Yes, they want you to feel sorry for him, but I think people will start pitying him now. And I don't think Ric Flair, the career he's had, I think it was unfair to make it so we were pitying him. Because we were pitying him towards the end of his career. He should have retired years before he did. Everybody was pitying him. He was the old guy who wouldn't retire because he was still trying to keep going. And that's, I think it's unfair on Flair. But like I say, it was a great promo with regards to heels. I felt sorry for Rick. Which is exactly, like I say, that's exactly what they're doing. Next Money in the Bank qualifier. The Lunatic Fringe. Sorry about that. The Lunatic Fringe, Dean Ambrose versus Dolph Ziggler. Now, here's my thing. They're still carrying on by the look of it. Dolph Ziggler versus Baron Corbin. Yes, it was okay. It was a decent feud. It broke Corbin in. Why are you still going with it? Surely it's had its time now. I mean, don't get me wrong. Maybe there's more to it. And maybe it'll get better. But I'm shocked. I thought that'd be it for that now. Corbin did a promo with JoJo before the match. Dolph comes up and just says, oh yeah, you only won because you did that to me and all this kind of stuff. So obviously, if Dolph loses, they're obviously, it looks like they're going to keep going with Corbin and Dolph. But anyway, the match, I don't know. I'm cooling a bit on Dean Ambrose, if I'm honest. He's beginning to bore me a little bit. Yes, I love the gimmick, the whole lunatic stuff and the stuff he does. In the ring, though, it's becoming very samey. He's doing, the same stuff at the same time, all the time. Like Dean Ambrose, would have no qualms with him winning the Money in the Bank briefcase, would have no qualms with the hammer and a push. But can we have something a bit different, please? It was a bit slow-paced for me. There wasn't no hype to it. It just kind of, they got on with it, had the match. Ambrose wins, so that puts him in, and that was kind of it. It wasn't epic with regards to the moves they were doing on each other. Yeah, it was just okay, which is hard to say because I like Ambrose and I like Ziggler as well. I've always said Dolph Ziggler was the underrated man who didn't get the push when he was high, when he cashed in against Del Rio. It never sort of built on from there. But, so, I don't know. So who we got so far? In the 4 matches, we've got Sami Zayn, epic. Cesaro, epic. Jericho, yeah. Old Ed in there. And Dean Ambrose. I'm not too angry about them four. We had one more match left to go. And it was my boy, Kevin Owens. Love you, Kev. Versus the phenomenal one, AJ Styles. Now, for the main event, for him to put this in, means they've got to be. You can see now the work they're putting into Owens now. I can see the work they're putting in Owens to get him built up there now. The match was out of this world. Like I say, only Cesaro. If you do it from an entertainment point of view, from one person, Cesaro was the match of the night, and I stand by that slightly. If you want to do it from both guys, what they both did, the story they told, the moves they did, the action they did, absolutely everything, the main event beats it, which is what the main event should. I just enjoyed the Cesaro just with the way they was doing things. But honestly, top match by two massive stars who are going to get massive pushes, that's come from indie circuits, that's got, the hype and everything else. The moves they were doing to each other was out of this world. It was like a good old-fashioned fight. And I loved it. And I loved every second of it. I'm skipping in front of myself, but before the match, AJ comes down and basically grabs the mic and says, I brought the Bullet Club in, but I don't need the Bullet Club. If it wasn't for them and the Usos, I would be WWE World Heavyweight Champions. The club comes out and basically says, so you're saying you don't need us? So you didn't need us back in Japan. You didn't need us. If it weren't for us, you wouldn't be this. If it weren't for us, you wouldn't be that. And basically, AJ was like, look, you're my best friends and I still want to be friends with you, but I don't need you in a professional role. And basically they've cut all ties. The club said, no, screw you. We're not going to be involved with you now then. You're on your own. Here's my question. Does that mean they're building up to something big? Does that mean that AJ and the club have now fell out and now we may see the birth of the Balor Club or the Bullet Club? Is there going to be feuds now between AJ and Gallows and Anderson? Now, for me, are they going to bring Balor before they bring Nakamura? Are they going to bring Nakamura up first? So then the players are in place to bring the Balor Club up. I don't know. I'm hoping this is the start of Balor. Only time will tell. Only time will tell. Hashtag Balor Club. Let's get it going. So anyway, as I was saying about the match was out of this world. Epic finale. Owens wins clean. AJ looked really, really strong. They looked really, really good. Owens made him look good. They also made Owens look good. Owens wins. And the Raw finishes with Owens in the middle of the ring, arms up in the air celebrating. Again, that to me shows that they're putting the work in to Owens now to start pushing him. Now, we have 5, and I believe there's 2 more places to go now. There was no mention of any more qualifying matches Thursday night. They announced there was going to be a US title match between Kalisto and Rusev. They also announced there was going to be an Intercontinental title match between Miz and Cesaro. These are both on SmackDown. There was no mention of qualifying. Here's what I'm thinking, and I'll accept it because he's been away for a while, but I just think they could have put more in there. Now, one of them, I think they're going to put John Cena in, and I really do. Fine, it's John Cena. I suppose you've got to put him in there, really. He's worked hard to get back nice and quick. I just pray to God they're not going to stick anything on him and make him push. That leaves room for one more. Now, I haven't seen these. I am reliably informed by one of my sources that Bray Wyatt has been tweeting cryptic messages about change in WWE. Are you ready for change? And things like that. I believe Bray Wyatt is the person to go in that spot. So that will give you Bray Wyatt, John Cena, Ambrose Jericho, Zayn, Cesaro, and Owens. That's epic. That is absolutely epic. Now, I'm down to 2 people. They won't put it on Zayn. They won't put it on Cesaro. They won't put it on Jericho. Or they shouldn't. I hope they don't put it on Cena. There's potential they could put it on Bray, and I would love to see it on Bray. But I don't think the Wyatt family need the money in the bank. I think they will do it by what they have done by attacking and things like that. I don't think they will need the money in the bank. That leaves 2 people. I personally think there's a good chance they'll go with Kevin Owens, because like I say, they're putting the work in now to make him good. I know I'm repeating myself, but I don't apologise for repeating myself, because they are putting the work in and you can see what they're going to do. So I think they may go with Owens. However, here's my first prediction for Money in the Bank. Like I say, I haven't decided what I think they're going to do. This is just one prediction. So, Ambrose wins Money in the Bank. So then you've got 2 of the Shield members fighting in the main event, and the other one with the Money in the Bank. Is Rollins going to win, and Ambrose cashes in straight away, and Ambrose becomes WWE World Heavyweight Champion? Which then sets up a Shield triple threat. Or do they wait and do that and build it up for SummerSlam as a Shield triple threat? I don't know. But I think they could go with Owens, but I think we're due a babyface Money in the Bank briefcase holder. And I think if they do, that's going to be Ambrose, and it's going to set up the Shield triple threat. Which, let's be honest, yes. 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 That's what we want to see. Yeah. So they're my 2 predictions so far. But like I say, we've only seen a little bit of it. There's more to come from it. I probably will change my mind. But that's my initial reaction of what I would think they're maybe going to do. But overall, Raw it was a decent show. I would give it probably a 7. The matches made it. Like I say, the crowd made it as well. I thought the crowd was amazing. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Thumbs up to some of the stuff they did. We didn't see anything of Roman bar. I mean, there was really no point in Roman even being there. Really. He didn't really do anything. He didn't come out and say anything. So yeah, it was a good show though. It was a good show. I enjoyed it. So anyway, as we always do at this time, we always say thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my insight into Monday Night Raw. I wish I'd have gone into more depth. I didn't want to talk about the Enzo stuff because I want you to watch it because I just can't give it justice. It was that good of a promo. But anyway, as you can see, thank you for watching. If you haven't already, please, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, follow me, find me. Moobs like Jabber in all 3. If you are a gamer and you want to see me game on, I play things like Division, Call of Duty, a vast array of games. Find me on Twitch TV. I am Moobs like Jabber Xbox One on Twitch TV, so please check me out there. As I always say, if you want to be on the show, all you got to do, find me on Twitter, direct message me and just say, I want to be on the next show. I want to talk about it with you. I want to have the laugh that you had with Big Beastie last week. And honestly, we will sort something out. We will get you on. There is no provisos apart from you just follow me on Twitter. So if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget, hit the Moobs button in the bottom right corner. My left, your right. It says Moobs with white background. Please hit that. That is the sub button. That means you will never miss a show. You can catch up on all the old episodes. You can see a lot of the game stuff that I upload and things like that. Don't forget as well, share this to your friends. Share it on Facebook. Share it on Twitter. Get people's involvement. The comments box is always there for people who want to talk. If you don't agree with something I've said, then that's fine. We'll discuss it in the comments box. I'll even answer your questions or anything. If you've got anything you want to ask me, if you want to know anything about my wrestling fan career, all you got to do is ask me and I'll definitely answer them on another podcast. So anyway, hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've had a great time. I hope you've enjoyed Extreme Rules and Raw, and I hope you're looking forward to next week's Raw. Thank you very much. Love you, YouTube.